City volunteers in Pingdong present a Dharma boat in year-end blessing ceremony. China City volunteers deliver love in the winter in Chengde City. Welcome to Dai Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In Taiwan, city volunteers in Pingdong have recently held the year blessing ceremony at Kaohsiung Jinsi Hall. During the event, they presented their handmade Dharma boat. The blue light Dharma boat has taken to the stage. It is made with love of volunteers from all walks of life. The Dharma boat incorporated recycling concepts and creativity. It is made with 362 PET bottles.
We placed chairs on it and made it sturdy and durable. It has wheels so we can push it. We use it on the body of the boat.
The boat body and bone structure are just right.
We have collected foam board and iron skeleton that people use. We folded it into the shape of the boat skeleton. The male volunteers have their function and they made the skeleton. The female volunteers worked on the detailed parts.
It just happens that everything works fine.
The recycled materials fit the size of this Dharma boat. Therefore, we can complete the work in a short 19 hours.
If we reflect blue light at people's eyes, they will feel uncomfortable, so we reverse it, let it shine inside. We should be able to do it until the performance is over.
Volunteers from Pingdong found a source of creativity from town by the seaside and lanterns.
When Pingdong volunteers rehearsed, Tzu Chi brothers and sisters said that they were amazed. I said that it's Haido. They asked what is it. I explained that it is the steadiness of residence by the seaside.
看了一片光芒啊，用爱在人间。人海茫茫中，需要造船，要造出了慈航普渡。
Yang Biyun, who was addicted to gambling when she was young, joined Tzu Chi to pay home visitation in the community. After seeing the suffering, she realized her own blessings and became fully awakened. She inspired two volunteers to get rid of their bad habits.
80-40年，每天哦，杨碧拢带我去这个高速公路咧走啦，运送物资啦。
Yang Biyun, a Tzu Chi volunteer who dedicated to inspiring others to do good deeds, was addicted to gambling when she was young.
I used to gamble a lot from day till night. When my child was young, I once gave her baby powder as milk formula to drink because I was sleep deprived.
Fortunately, her younger sister took Yang Biyun to Huanian to find her roots and pay home visitation in the community. At that time, she was shot by a child who could not strengthen his body.
The care recipient is living such a harsh life, whereas I'm in good health. If I don't lead a good life, what should I do?
Staying in a recycling station to do recycling the whole day, Huang Zhaojing, who was addicted to alcohol before, was motivated by Yang Biyun to give up drinking. Ning Yuzhen, a volunteer who drives a rehabilitation bus during the day and does recycling at night, was also a drug addict.
Sister Biyun cares for me so much, I also don't want to let her down.
He was once a drug addict while I was a gambler, and he's a drunkard. All three of us were saved by the master.
毒鬼、交鬼、酒鬼，但是呢，转鬼成菩萨，原来呢，鬼王也菩萨。所以呢，人生啦，转一个人生的观念，他。
Saying goodbye to the past, Tzu Chi volunteer Yang Biyun becomes more empathetic. She said that only by inspiring more people to join Tzu Chi can compensate the wasted years in her youth.
Remote region residents often lack medical information. Taichung's Director of General Medicine has recently visited Nantou Shui Bureau to share ways to keep healthy and the benefits of vegetarianism.
During this cold wintry day, the Pingdong villagers in Nantou's Shui Township are happy to listen to this health seminar given by the Director of General Medicine from Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital.
When it's cold and we don't wear enough clothes, what would happen? Our immune system becomes low.
In this winter health protection seminar, the doctor is still very much promoting the benefits of vegetarianism.
I've been a vegetarian for 30 more years, and I want to share the benefits of it with everyone. Eating right can help many of the symptoms of sickness.
Listening to these important information, the residents have been well informed.
少吃鱼肉，多吃蔬果，然后啊，
免疫力的提升啦，还有对癌症的那个预防啦，这样都有收获。有很大的收获。
I'm here to share how good vegetarian food can be. It helps to prevent cancer, increases the immune system, anti-aging. Also, it can lower the tree hypos levels, support the gastrointestinal system.
This event hosted by the village head is a rare opportunity for the residents to learn some updated health information from a doctor.
There hasn't been a seminar like this in the community. This is the first one, so residents are interested. They know how to take care of their health.
The affinity Tzu Chi has with this region stems from the former village head, Chengde, as Dr. Yu was Chen's cancer doctor.
非常感謝吼，咱的醫主任啊吼，非常的。
I'm grateful for Dr. Yu and his team's visit to our village.
後來真用心吼，過來咱城中村。
Because of Dr. Yu's care, my husband's sickness has taken a turn for the better. I'm thankful that Tzu Chi is here.
As the seminar closes, the doctor pays a visit to the former village head Chengde. Seeing how well he has recovered, Tzu Chi continues to bring warmth to remote regions.
At the end of last year, Mr. Chen climbed the Baigu Mountain with his friend. The group lost contact, leading to immediate rescue from Taichung Fire Bureau. Volunteer Chen Rongfeng, who's a member of Tzu Chi's volunteer team on operating drums, has joined the rescue mission.
Mr. Chen has been gone for more than half a month as firefighters continue the rescue mission. But on the 3,000 feet altitude Baigu Mountain, the rescue mission experienced difficulties. Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Rongfeng, who is a volunteer drone operator and a volunteer firefighter, brought 2 drones onto the mountain.
It's really cold here, around -6 degrees Celsius this morning. The nearby pond is frozen and the grass is covered in frost.
Besides fighting off the cold, Chen Rongfeng has to also understand the complicated landscapes in order to fly the drone.
必须飞到一个高点以后，然后镜头往下切，切完有在溪谷的空隙。
We have to fly it to a certain height, then the camera can look down in order to perform a 360-degree search on the valley.
12 batteries brought along the mission were fully depleted by the drones. Last year in August, volunteer Chen Rongfeng went to Daxueshan in order to find a missing mountain climber.
了了一个家属的心愿呐，就是说，因为真的是。
We do this to fulfill the family's wish. Finding the body is important because we're comforting both the dead and the living.
With solid beliefs, Chen Rongfeng volunteers as a firefighter, controlling the drone during multiple missions. But due to poor weather conditions this time, he was forced to evacuate temporarily.
In Malaysia, January has been a tough month. Not only has the pandemic worsened, in just 10 days, Johor Bahru was devastated by floods twice. As a result, village nursing homes have been flooded. City volunteers deliver daily supplies to a shelter and nursing home. There's muddy water in front of all the houses. In 10 days, Johor Bahru was devastated by floods twice. A shelter and nursing home have both faced difficulties.
是将那个老人家住的里面呢。
全部东西已经搬走了。
啊，那边大概有挣到多少车了啊？
大概都是差不多2车的位置啊。
哦，那边已经挣到2车了啊。
哦。里面全部都一样的啦。啊。全部都到这边了啊。
到哪里？
都到这边了。
A day ago, city volunteers delivered 60 bed sheets to the nursing home. They did not expect the flood water to come so soon. They raced against time to move electric appliances and bed frames onto trucks to be delivered to a temporary shelter.
The seniors have just moved back 2 days ago. However, it flooded 2 days later, so we moved back to the elementary school auditorium. We are grateful to people and volunteers. When we encounter difficulties, they are willing to help with passion.
The entire village has also been flooded and people were displaced.
In less than a week, their home has been flooded again. We have been notified and we mobilized again. This time, we were more alert than last time. We have a concept of what supplies we should prepare ahead of time.
准备的，那我们都有一个概念了。
日常用品呢，我们有毛巾。
In terms of daily supplies, we have towels, buckets, scoops, instant drink, toothpaste, toothbrushes, cups, shower gel, and hangers. I hope we can help the affected residents.
希望我们能够帮助这些灾民。
In Malaysia, the pandemic has worsened. Volunteers have to protect themselves as they deliver help to the affected residents.
Thank you for helping me. I have diabetes and I encountered the flood when I am just about to recover. My feet have been swollen again. I feel terrible.
Facing both the pandemic and flood, the affected residents have felt the love of Tzu Chi volunteers. The days of extreme cold had Tzu Chi volunteers rushing to help residents in Chengde. They helped 30 families in the mountain region by preparing some goods for the winter.
爷爷，您看看给您送什么来了？
在我们外面的温度是零下14度。
As the temperature dropped below zero, Tzu Chi volunteers are worried about the residents in Hebei's Chengde and quickly prepared winter items for them. Not wanting the residents to suffer in the cold for one more day, the 70-year-old volunteer at times forewent her lunch to do quality control.
Today our winter clothing has arrived and we checked the quality of them. It's pretty good. We wanted to make sure the residents of Chengde are warm because it's pretty cold there. We need to make sure the quality is good and we'll keep them warm.
Winter this year has been extra cold, and it's because of this we're here in Chengde. The dip in temperature has given the residents who live in the higher altitudes a difficult situation temporarily.
In total, there are 30 families being helped from the call that the volunteers received in mid-December. After everything was prepared, Tzu Chi volunteers from 3 areas, Tianjin, Tangshan, and Chifeng, gathered to complete the mission. This recipient who is shedding happy tears is Chen Ling. He has difficulty walking and relies on his family's help for everything. Bringing material aid and laughter, Tzu Chi volunteers help families temporarily forget their troubles in life and are ready to face the Lunar New Year.
In Shenyang, China, confirmed COVID cases were reported recently. Therefore, the anti-epidemic alert in the communities has risen again. City volunteers are sympathetic to the frontline epidemic prevention personnel. They send them masks, medical gloves, and ginger tea.
In Shenyang, at minus 20 degrees Celsius, even dressed in full protective equipment, these epidemic personnel still feel cold. However, in Huibao community, it has recently been reported that a resident was in contact with confirmed COVID patients, so the alert of epidemic prevention in the community rose again.
For the safety and health of the residents in the community, we have set up these temporary tents to provide detection for the residents, because in the park the air is more circulated.
I've been to so many places, and it is the first for me to see the outdoor detection sites. All of them are located indoor. In such cold weather, it's not easy for everyone to insist on doing it.
To thank for the hard work of the frontline epidemic prevention personnel, Tzu Chi volunteers specially give them masks and gloves.
The second nucleic acid testing has been lasted for 2 more days, so the allocated materials from the control center are not enough at all. We especially thank Tzu Chi for sending us so many anti-epidemic supplies, so that our staff can have a better protection.
Worrying that the frontline personnel would get cold when working in such a cold weather, volunteers sent them heartwarming supplies the next day.
This is brown sugar ginger tea. It's in cubes, especially for the female workers. You can soak in water in the morning or at night. It's good to keep you warm.
Apart from Huibao community, volunteers also visit 2 other communities in the North District of Shenyang. It is hoped that their caring companion can keep the epidemic away sooner.
The Hong Kong government has been collaborating with local units to promote recycling, placing recycling stores in communities. After collaborating with Tzu Chi, the first recycling store opened up in 2020.
Tzu Chi's first recycling store, Quarry Bay Recycling Store, is set at East Pavilion. The location is convenient as many residents are nearby. On the first day of operation, residents came in to recycle.
It's convenient. Sometimes when I have to recycle electronics, I had to take it to Taiwan Ho, but now I can take it here.
The director of the Environmental Bureau even made a visit here to send blessings. In the store, each label is clear as every type of waste has a specific bin. Furthermore, a nighttime DIY recycling window is provided.
Before closing the store, we'll open the nighttime bins, and some people will put their recyclables into these bins. So basically, the store is open 24/7, available for residents to recycle whenever they want to.
There is also this point card. Once set, it can collect points, encouraging residents to actively recycle. Besides the point card system, volunteers have made visits to different stores to promote the card. Now on the first day of operation, around 500 came over to apply.
This is made possible because Tzu Chi's mission on promoting recycling in Hong Kong is gradually recognized by both locals and government.
The Environmental Bureau of Hong Kong planned to set 18 recycling stores in the future, as the first one launched by Tzu Chi proved to be a successful case.
The concept of meatless diet is becoming more and more popular. A special vegetarian exhibition was recently held at the Taipei World Trade Center in Taiwan.
The first vegetarian exhibition in 2021 was held at the Taipei World Trade Center. A Jinsa humanitarian booth was set up at the exhibition, inviting everyone to wake up to the cause of vegetarianism.
I hope that through this kind of karma, Tzu Chi's humanitarian ideas and philosophy can influence the public to carry out compassionate actions. This kindness and destiny includes how to save the earth starting from yourself.
Volunteers start with themselves and promote not only the concept of health, but also plastic reduction and the use of environmentally friendly tableware.
In fact, what is invisible to the eyes does not necessarily disappear. So I feel like saying that in daily life, we can all do some small actions. This can help leave to our children and grandchildren a beautiful planet in the future. The same is true for beautiful mountain forests. This is what everyone should learn.
Chen Shuli has been a lifelong Tzu Chi volunteer and a vegetarian for more than 30 years. She uses her own experience to promote a meatless diet.
Because of the environment, I became a vegetarian. Since starting this, from 1978 to now, which is 2021, it has been about 32 years. I would say that my experiment has been a success, and I want to tell everyone that eating a vegetarian diet is healthy.
To save the planet, we can also start from our diet, and a diversity of vegetarian food will provide more new choices for people to live a healthy life.
The COVID-19 pandemic has led many people to believe that bats may be the original host of this virus. At the moment, there's no definite evidence of this. Follow our report as we learn more about local bats.
小 baby 会塞奶，头一直这样蹭，给他一些情感上的抚慰，就是像我们这样会摸摸头啊。其实
There are a lot of little bats that just fall down accidentally, or when people fix the air conditioner, they may also fall down. If these little bats are picked up by the public, they will contact us and send them to us for care. Taking care of bats will include feeding milk to bat babies every 3 to 4 hours. It's the same as feeding kids. This is done until young bats slowly eat mealworms.
Raising bats from babies to juveniles is done by these conservation volunteers who even train bats with flying and foraging skills. Lifting one's hand to let go of the bats and let them fly is part of intensive training before they're released in the wild. After several months of caring for this bat, volunteers put them on a tree at night and let them return to the embrace of nature. This young bat is not in a hurry to fly away, as it seems to say goodbye to these volunteers.
Whether it's working at the front line, doing a survey, or caring for bat babies, there is definitely a risk. Bats have sharp teeth and when taking care of them, they may bite.
A scratch or a bite by a bat is considered a very high risk for infection event by Taiwan CDC. The bat will definitely be sent to us for testing as soon as possible. According to a doctor's assessment, the injured person may be injected with rabies vaccine or immunoglobulin.
If the rabies virus invades the body and one does not inject the vaccination, within 3 days the mortality rate will be 100%. Fortunately, there have been no human cases of rabies infection in Taiwan in the past 50 years, but this is a risk that should not be ignored.
在台绝迹52年的狂犬病真的又重出江湖。去年中到今年初，民众在南投鱼池乡、鹿埔乡和云林古坑发现3只病死幼獾。农委会昨天召开专家会议。 判定这3只病死幼獾是感染狂犬病死亡。
In 2013, an outbreak of ferret badger rabies occurred in Taiwan. After that event, there are actually more wild animals and specimens that came in for analysis.
The rabies virus and Lissa virus are classified as the same virus genus. Therefore, the Lissa virus found in ferret badgers caused great concern for epidemic prevention personnel. In the past 5 years, 2 types of Lissa virus have been detected in native bats, but they are not the same as the 16 known types of Lissa virus known in the world, so they are new types. The scientific community currently only confirms the first type of Lissa virus can transmit rabies. In other words, even if Taiwanese bats carry the Lissa virus, they cannot prove that they're infected with rabies.
There are no cases of the first type of so-called true rabies in Taiwan. Bats in Taiwan have not been found to actively bite others. So basically, Taiwan's bats are actually safe.
因为在蝙蝠身上找到了类似像新冠病毒的冠状病毒，
而且确认蝙蝠就是病毒宿主。
那究竟会不会传染给人类呢
？The fierce immune responses that allow bats to.
The media kept reporting that there are hundreds of viruses in bats, which scared many people. But in fact, this may be the result of lopsided and flawed study by scientists who disproportionately sampled one particular group of bats.
What wild animals is most likely to caught and sample over a short amount of time? This is of course bats, which can be sampled and tested easily because a large number of bats live in caves and other places. From the position of the researcher, of course they want to easily obtain samples, and if they can get it from a bat, it's reasonable to find more viruses.
What people should care about is not the amount of viruses in bats, but the types of viruses that are common to humans and animals. Today we're at the COA Animal Research Institute, and from 2016 to 2019 this unit has targeted some 522 native Taiwanese bats were tested, and 22 of them were found to have viruses, but they were not similar to the COVID-19 strain.
In fact, Taiwan bats have not been found to have COVID-19 or other animals to humans coronavirus, so it is actually unnecessary to kill them or cause panic or drive them away.
Our inspection this year have found that Taiwan bats are actually very safe. There is almost no threat to humans.
The panic the public has may come from misunderstandings about bats. As long as they avoid touching bats directly, or even if they live at your home, the chance of human beings being infected with diseases by bats is extremely low.
Tzu Chi Great Love Preschool in Walnut and City of Washington, D.C. chapter have encouraged children to donate their toys to children in need. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.